Hi everyone, Alex here. Today we got a pretty big AetherSX2 update that's promising some decent performance boost across different devices. We're going to check it out on the Odin, and what I thought I'd do differently in this video is that I'd show that how to install it on the device. We're going to check out the settings and then just check out the different games. So since I'm in my launcher, which is Pegasus, I need to do this to get to apps. Something I thought I'd show again is that I'm in high performance mode and the fan is set to smart, so it just kicks in whenever it needs to be used. And so I do this and go to apps and notifications. Obviously if you install this on the regular launcher you can put this on the front page, but I have to do this. So I have it already there, but I'll just show you. If I go to all apps and pick APK installer, open it, install APKs. And there we have the latest AetherSX2 update. So I'm going to tick it, install it, and yes please. And it's done. I'm just going to press done, and then I'm going to delete it so I don't have to have it on the device. Then we're going to get rid of that. Back on the launcher, and now we're just going to go open up AetherSX2. So this is how it usually looks like. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the settings, and because it's a big new update, I'm going to reset the settings, and I'm going to put it to I always forget what to do here, but I put it to optimal safe. So now the settings have been changed, and then we're going to go have a look at the settings. So it looks normal here. We have the general settings. Just looking through here about what I might want on or off. Seems pretty good. I like to show the speed so that I can tell how well the game's performing. That looks pretty good there. I'll go over to system. So cycle rate, cycle skip, leave them by default. Multi-threaded VU1 is now on by default, I think, on most devices. We're going to leave those on. We don't have to turn those on anymore. They're just on now. And that all looks good. Graphics. Graphics, please. OpenGL is standard. I'm going to put it to 2x because that's how I want most of my games to run if possible. And everything there looks good. Basic, default, accurate hardware download mode. That's something you have to change on some games. I'm going to change this to widescreen, and then we'll do widescreen patches. Enable no interlacing patches. No. Host VSync synchronizes frame presentation with host refresh. So I don't know if some of the Odins have like different refresh rates, like just a bit over 60 or something, but we're going to just turn that on because, well, it's done no harm so far. That looks good. Audio will also be good. Time stretch. We'll skip past these. We'll have a quick look at advanced. Sometimes settings get shifted around. I like to have a look through this. So all these are on by default. GPU palette conversion, you do not want to put this on, but there are certain games where it might actually improve the performance. So give it a check if the game is bad, but yes, don't just leave it on by default. And anti-blur. Huh, is that new? Skip presenting duplicate frames is now on, definitely. It can be a huge performance win in some games and drivers. Sync to host refresh rate. Adjust emulation speed so the guest refresh interval matches the host refresh. Gonna put it on. Not exactly sure. I think I used to put that on all the time. And looking through this, everything looks good. So that's done. And I still have my settings per game, so I may need to change those. We'll look at some of these games because, for example, Metal Gear Solid 2, I think some things like hardware download mode and GPU palette conversion are no longer needed, and it runs quite decently. So here's something new. So I have not checked out the Ace Combat games on video, but I will say that these first two games, so what's that? 4 and 5. 4 and 5 are playable if you're in cockpit mode. 6 is just really bad. No, that's not 6, that's 0. So let's have a look. I'm going to just go load state. Your call sign is Mobius 1. We'll refer to you by this name at all times. You're getting about 85% speed. but this is because I'm showing the plane. If I change the cockpit, it goes up to 100% speed. So for some reason, just showing the plane as well is just going to like tank the frames by about 10-15 speed. Going to turn this down just a little bit. This is one of those games where I assume a later level will have a bit more detail, more like models, mountains and things, so I don't actually know how that's going to perform. When I was testing this, I did realize if you fly closer to one of these lands, you'll see some like texture problems and maybe some dips, but I also think I read on Reddit that someone said they played both of these games and said they were very playable. I'm not the biggest fan of Ace Combat. I played 7 and absolutely loved it. So when I say I'm not the biggest fan, I've not played them all. That's what I'm saying. But I actually really wanted to play these games someday. Oh, look at the sun. I wonder if there's a manual fix for that. Oh my. But 7 was fantastic. I played that with a actual flight stick. I thought if I ever played 4, 5 or 0, I'd actually want to play those with a flight stick. So that looks alright. I'm going to post my settings again for individual games, but yeah, so if you want to do individual game settings, we're going to press this sort of circle with a, I think it's an eye in there, and what I've set it for this game is no underclocking, but we're in Vulkan, and I've put it to 1.5 times resolution for some reason. I must have thought that was the best, and readback's off. So let's get out of this game. Let's have a look at the next one. I figure since I looked at one, we might as well look at the rest. Amazing soundtrack. Is it the same controls? It's different controls in each game. How do I change? Oh. So yeah, once you start looking at the plane, you're seeing the frames tank a little bit. The speed goes down by up to 30%. But if I go back to cockpit mode, it's much better. So I actually prefer to like see the plane in some of these games. So, for example, I was a really big Rogue Squadron, Rogue Leader fan. There's just something about seeing the ship and flying it, which is more satisfying to me than being in cockpit. But I know there are some people who are like purists and say all of these games should be played in cockpit mode. But yeah, 4 and 5, promising. I think I have the same settings for this one as the 4th game. Getting some texture problems flying closer to the areas. So this has been the same across the other patches, or versions, sorry, of AetherSX2. Nothing's really changed here. But there are a few games that actually perform a little better, supposedly. There's a Patreon page with an update. And when we get to Ace Combat 6, this is when I guess they started doing something a little bit different. And you're going to see now that this game actually runs not very well at all. I don't know why I'm loading state like this. So cockpit mode, it says 100% for now, but we're going to get some horrible texture popping problems. And then as we start flying around the area, we're just going to start getting some hard dips like that. Wow, that's pretty harsh. So in my opinion, you can probably play 4 and 5 if you're really desperate to, but 6, I've just, in my small testing of the game, I found it really unplayable. It doesn't seem like anything in this update has actually changed with this game. But that's the deal with this kind of thing. Something you also might want to check out is just how well the game runs emulated anyway, because there are some games, for example, if you go look at PCSX2, they have the same problems, and maybe that's just something you're not going to be able to fix, and maybe you do just need a stronger device overall to handle the performance. But sometimes this texture stuff is not easily fixed, or it just is what it is. But that's the thing with emulation. So that was a little bit boring because I actually did nothing in those games. We supposedly got some fixes in the AetherSX games. There's supposed to be some texture fixes here. It's probably going to come across in the widescreen. And for some reason I can't move. Why can't I move? Why does it not have a controller profile for some reason? Let's have a look at this. Input profile, global settings. Let's just click default. That's a profile I have. Wow, that's strange. I don't remember changing the buttons for the Ace Combat games. How do you jump in this? Oh, it's like... Is it L1? Oh, it's R2. Strange. So from my memory of this, of testing this before, oh, you're still getting some texture things here, but the game is still really smooth. It's still kind of cool and surprises me that there are a lot of games that play really well on this. So as you can see, I have a custom job of this where it just looks like a PlayStation logo, PlayStation buttons. I also replaced the sticks with Switch sticks and put Vita foam grips on them. So they have a little bit more room to move. It's actually kind of nice. I would recommend it, but if you're not someone that likes to open your Odin, then, you know, be careful. So, I'm going to exit this. As I said, this is a video where I've just installed a fresh new update. I'm going to have a look at... oh, there we go. I'm going to have a look at controllers. So let's have a look at input settings. Oh, no. Oh, no, sorry, controller settings. And let's see what's going wrong. No bindings. Okay. I must have set a controller profile for the Ace Combat games for some reason. So we'll say yes, and we'll just do default. And I'm just going to double check that I have... Is it toggle or fast forward? Toggle slow motion, toggle turbo. I'm going to say it's turbo. I'm going to set it to this button on the back here. So this one. That's how I usually set it. And just as a precaution, I guess I'm going to save profile, save it to default, and that should be good. So default's one I set up. That's just your standard buttons, your LR, everything. So, but I've also, oh wait, there's something else I need to change there. So, controller settings, hotkeys. I forget how far down here it is, but it's like pressure modifier. Maybe it's up actually. Yeah. Oh wait, I can't seem to find it. Maybe it's in port 1. Macros, right stick, left stick, apply pressure. Okay, that is on there. Okay, never mind. And I set that button to this one. So if I was playing Metal Gear Solid, for example, and I draw my gun, I don't want to fire, I will squeeze that button as well. and then he'll put his gun down, and then I can let go of the fire button. Okay, so that's good. There's no difference to games like Burnout 3, but you know, let's have a look at it. Burnout 3 is always like one of my go-to games that I love. It's one of those games that I wish performed a little bit better. So I'm just going to double check this. I think I've changed this in the settings that I'll post in the video description, but we've got 1.25 resolution. I feel like I was able to get a little bit more resolution without sacrificing speed. I don't know if that actually does anything, the 50% underclock, but I left it on, I think, because I was testing resolutions. But it doesn't change anything, so I'm going to leave it on. So this is one of those games people will find hard to play in 1x because stuff will come at the distance that's quite hard to see. But unfortunately, Burnout's always been a game that's just a little bit harder to run than other games. But at 1x, or as they're showing here, 1.25x, it's running great. Now, when you do get to locations like Europe and Asia, for example, there's going to be some more dense courses where I think it might slow down a little bit. So my opinion is if you're playing a driving game and you're having to deal with a lot of like speed fluctuations, I wouldn't play those games. Ow. I think, you know, one of the best things about driving games is the sense of speed. If you're constantly losing that through emulation, you want it at 100% as much as possible. But thankfully, more arcade games, or arcade-like races, are just a bit more bearable if you do drop speed here and there. Okay, cool. So, no difference there. I think because of the settings I have, we're not going to see a lot of big differences. Apparently, there's some skybox fix with black. This is another game that's actually running really well. I don't actually know if I noticed the skybox issue before because I've never played this game before. Bam. And these new sticks allow a bit more control in FPS games like this. However, I do find that a lot of these games have like, I don't know, with some developers they don't have like the smoothest of controls with like cameras and right stick movement, and this is quite common in like the old PS2 games. So I'm just looking at the sky. I don't know, it's just black. The sky is black. I don't know what's going on. Did I just die? There you go. That was a weird effect for dying. But yeah, that game runs pretty smooth with the settings I have. Wait, what? Okay, that sounded a lot like a Dark Souls song. It sounded like Dark Souls 3's hub music. A little bit. So, let's get out of this game. Chaos Legion's always run fantastic since hardware download mode happened, and turning that off made it run silky smooth. Nothing I really need to show there. I'm just going to double check this page. So they're showing a graph where Snapdragon 870 performance has changed between version 1.2 and version 1.3 of this emulator. Not massive performance boosts, like in some cases maybe 10 or so frames, but there were already games that ran well, so I have a few of the games they're showing. So maybe I need to go look at, say, well, God Hand is one of them, and this is one I've been trying to play here and there lately. I find that I'm just I don't know. See, it's good to have something like the Odin where you can just pick it up, and this is a fun game to jump in and out of because the combat's kind of simple. but there's like a deceptive depth to it where you can just kind of do some cool things, and the combat gets hard and harder as you get along. I'm in this theme park area, which I totally forgot about. And this game was running perfectly before, so I already know it's going to run well. That's a gorilla. A gorilla got off the bus.
You're not a human, are you?
Hey, you want me to beat him up? Oh shit. Oh fuck. I thought you were invincible. Oh, I swore. So sorry. I thought you were invincible during those bits. So where's Dragon Kick? That'll be a good one. Boom. This game is so fun, actually. It's so good to razz on this for like 30 minutes to an hour. Oh, he's gonna kick my ass. Gorilla suplex? Oh, I hate this game. It like gives you these options so quickly, and you're like, oh, I missed it. Oh, I should have like dodged up. That's one thing I keep forgetting to do in this game. Because you have side to side, you have back, and then the one I don't use is where you like dodge like this, like boxing. Oh, that still hits you though. Some moves will hit you. Oh, that's like a 1-inch punch. I forgot about that. Ah! I forgot the other moves I have. Uh-oh. Avoid? Oh! This is such a fast game that, because I'm looking at my capture, I always say this, so it makes it hard to play, like, everything. Oh, I was trying to launch him in the air. Is he gonna get out of the way? Hell yeah. That still hit me. Right in his butt. Alright, awesome. But that was always running well. Excellent game, by the way. If you haven't played it, it's worth checking out. Let's have a look at God of War 2. This is supposed to have been improved. And I have a save state from the last time I tested this. Again, I've completely forgot all the controls. I definitely need to play this. I'm also slightly kicking myself that I... I'll hold it. Slightly kicking myself that I don't have a PlayStation 5. Because God of War Ragnarok looks excellent. It looks really, really good. And I really liked 2018's God of War. But I don't really find myself wanting a next generation console. Like, I don't really want a PlayStation 5, there's not a lot I want on it. And I've never really wanted an Xbox, and I like PC gaming, but I don't even play much on my PC anymore. My life of video games is mostly handheld gaming, and then virtual reality, which has been having a great time lately because the Half-Life 2 VR mod recently came out, and that's been really fun. And then Bone Lab recently just came out the other day, and I need to give that game some more time, because I played it for like a couple of hours. And I kind of have some, like... You are dead. I have some opinions on that game. Like, I don't know if I prefer Boneworks more for now. So I need to, like, really get a good play session in. I don't know if this is too loud. I always forget how well this microphone captures the Odin's volume. But yeah, there's some awesome stuff coming to VR soon, and I can't wait for The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners 2. I'm not sure what settings I have for this game, I'm curious. So, even though I've made a new update to the emulator, it's kept my per game settings. So we have a light underclock there of just 1. And then we have OpenGL, it's at 2x resolution. So here per game, even though it says not set, it's just like the global setting. So when I did the settings at the start, I did global settings first. I'd set it to 2x. Although we're using OpenGL, I don't know why that's not global settings. Not that that matters, I just don't... I guess I was testing to see if Vulkan was any better, and it must have not been, so... And I've not turned GPU palette conversion on either, so I didn't need that. So God of War 2 is running really well. I think some people have said there's a couple of spots later on in the game where things will happen. And if I ever fully play this game, I'll get to those points and see if there's anything I can do. Oh, the light's gone from his eyes. I did not read what that said, by the way. I don't know what to do. But yeah, God of War 2 running really nicely. It was already running nicely before, but I didn't really see any or feel any performance drops there, so that's awesome. Let's have a look at Gran Turismo 4 is another really popular one. Was running great anyway, but I've got a few save states, so we'll jump back in it again. I've said before that besides the app settings, I've also changed the settings in the game to have like 1080p. Can I check that here? No, it's in the settings outside of racing. And I think I'm going to start loving driving games all over again. I really want to get a wheel, and I'd love to do racing in virtual reality with actual like manual shift change and things. Cars, so actually last Monday I passed my driving test. Woo! And I'm someone that's come to driving a lot later in life, and I just realized it's something I need to do. And you see, I'm from the UK, so public transport's always been a really good option. So when I was younger, it's like, why do I need to buy a car? Why do I need to pay insurance, etc.? Because transport's great, and I don't need to do like a huge amount of traveling, so I was perfectly fine with that. And then as I go on, my main job is music now, so I write music. I compose for video games, I write my own music, I have Spotify, other different distribution platforms, from streaming, and then like music sites like Bandcamp where you can purchase whole albums. But I've realized this year that driving has actually been quite a boon, and yeah, I like it a lot. So let's test. New York is one where it starts off really well, and then like you do your first U-turn, and then it might slow down a bit. So let's see if there's actually any like change here, if it's a bit smoother or not. I like to see the car. If I was properly driving though, actually, because you can manage your turns a lot better like this. Wow, can you imagine modding old PlayStation 2 games and things like this to have like virtual reality support? Okay, let's see how this goes. It's tugging a bit. The speed in the top right says it's fine. So let me double check something. Please. Do I have underclock on? I don't. So I don't know where that drop is. Maybe it's coming from the cycle rate a little bit. But otherwise, the speed's keeping up, and it's pretty good. Usually this stretch of road shows the game slowing, but yeah, that's pretty decent. I can't see. So, is this new update making Gran Turismo 4 running smoother? I don't know. But it's nice to jump into these and just see them running nice again. I do feel a bit bad that I'm showing like the same games and same locations over and over again, but it's nice to just sort of just test and see if there has been any like slight changes. I mean, I've said this before, as I've done videos on PlayStation 2, that, oh my god. I didn't say that. I said when the Odin came out, so I received mine in January. Oh god, I cannot drive this course. AetherSX2 was actually quite early, and it's really different now. The performance is so much better overall. It was already like decent at the start, and I never bought an Odin considering it could do PlayStation 2, but now it can. I'm so confident in it that I modded this the way it is. I think it looks beautiful. And I'm going to do a video soon where, so I have a, so I got this recently. This is the Mayu Mini. It's really tiny. It's like 1/3 of the Odin. And you can literally just hold it in your fingertips. It's so light, and I really shouldn't do that. I don't want to break it on the video. And I managed to get a purchase in from Sakura Retro Modding to get PlayStation buttons and stickers to make it look like a little PlayStation device. And that's when I'm going to do a video on that. And I'm quite surprised at the performance and how well it does what it does. It goes up to PlayStation 1 really well. Except for N64. I'll have to double check that, but I don't think it does N64. So, and I just want to do like a video maybe where I show like what I think at the moment is like a perfect trifecta of the Mayu Mini, the PlayStation Vita, and the Odin. I think they're like, having those three is like the perfect combination of getting all your emulation needs. Obviously, if you have something like a Steam Deck, but I still think the Steam Deck is too big. And eventually, at the end of the year, we'll get the Loki. Well, hopefully. It's starting to... They haven't really said anything about it. I'm starting to think they're going to push it into 2023. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't ship units until February or March at this point. But we'll see. Maybe they'll surprise us. But yeah, unfortunately, getting an Odin is still slow and frustrating. And the Odin Pro is about $300. I still think that's actually worth it if you want to play like GameCube and PlayStation 2. I was really lucky though, because I backed it on Indiegogo, and I had the early bird pricing and things. I got the Odin Pro for maybe about $180 or $200. I paid in pounds, so I'm trying to think of the conversion rate now. So for me, the value is insane. So good. Okay. You know what? I did a video on James Bond games. I'm going to have a look at From Russia with Love again, because this is one where it had like a few problems here and there. Like, it would be smooth like this, no problem. and then there'll be a few spots later on where it would slow down. And I didn't know whether I would recommend the PlayStation 2 version or the GameCube version. So I said that is probably just a call you would have to make if you wanted to play one or the other. Now there's a spot over here where nice jump scare from that asshole. It slows down here for some reason, just here. But I feel like it used to be worse. And there's some spots when we go upstairs where it was going to slow down a bit as well. But I think it's actually... Ooh, nice kick, Sean. I think it is actually running better, which is awesome. I can feel some little bits of slowdown here and there, but it's not terrible. So when I finish this video, I'll probably double back and check this on the... I'll check my James Bond video and see if there has been an actual increase in performance. It seems like it. So far, it's... Yeah, this is great. Oh, here we go. Starting to chug a little bit, but not terrible. That's cool. Nice. I don't know where to go. But going just from memory, it does seem to be better. I don't know where to go. Oh, here. Oh. Where do we go now? Here we go. Used to love the James Bond games, man. And now we're going to be getting GoldenEye on the Switch with online multiplayer. That's going to be insane. I wonder if they'll update the controls for a twin stick format or anything. This is cool though. This is running really well. From Russia with Love is actually a surprisingly good game, and the multiplayer is also... the multiplayer is actually really fun. As long as you don't like look at each other's screen, it can get like kind of stealthy, and it's like... Dude, one of the best things you can do, even now, is get like a bunch of mates and play some old like couch co-op, couch multiplayer games. So good. We're inevitably getting towards Metal Gear Solid 2. Path of Neo's not changed. I said before you need to put that in Vulkan, and it runs at like 1x. If you try and play it in OpenGL, there's texture problems, and even though it runs better, the texture problems are quite bad. So I really need to like test more. Maximo games run fantastic, always have. Kingdom Hearts runs really well. Do I have a save state for that one? Nope. But I did test Kingdom Hearts 2. Let's have a look at that. I only tested out this area because I've not played this before, and I was going through a lot of different games and checking the performance. I think I've said before that this game, some people have already played through this game, and it apparently is very playable. I'm personally not really a Kingdom Hearts fan, but I do think for the time the combat was really good. The PlayStation 2 started to become a time where like actual action combat was starting to become more a thing, and it was really fun. Some games were really basic. This Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 had some very good boss fights though. So yeah, let's have a look. So Metal Gear Solid 2. Look, we'll straight off go to the tanker hold section, because this isn't going to get better. I literally think, I don't think any update is going to make these sections any better. I think you just need a stronger device to be able to play this. You put way more characters on the screen, the game is just going to slow down. I'll show you that when we actually like go into a little corner, like over here. Performance much better. And it's saying we're not losing speed, it's just... Oh. So let me show you the settings for this game, because this is when there was an update recently, and so I've left cycle rate on 50%. The Vulcan 1.5 resolution instead of 2. I think I decided that actually ironed out some performance a little nicer. Don't even have hardware download mode on, not at all. And I think I turned off GPU palette conversion. Yep, not even on. So those were things I had on before, because those made the game run better, and now you don't need them. So as I said, this area, I don't think it's ever going to change, but it's only a small part of the game. Let's have a look at so Olga. There was a point like a month ago where there was an update and this area started to run worse for some reason. Oh, somehow shot her. And then they fixed it and it's running better again on the newer updates. Metal Gear Solid is a game where having the switch sticks actually makes it a little easier to do some of the aiming. I can't see. I'm looking at the capture. I don't know where I'm aiming. Yeah, that fight runs really well. Oh, yeah, pick load state. I have a different save state here because I had him like upstairs. I was testing like kicking the bottles. Oh. I remember testing so much. I used to play this game so much. You shoot this, little ice cubes come out, and if you stare at them long enough, I think they just melt. Give it time. Give it time, they're gonna melt. Are they? I don't know if I'm going crazy or if they are going smaller. I swear they're going smaller. They are, yeah, they are melting. The ice cubes melt. It's so stupid. I love all the details in this game. They're so tiny now. Melting ice cubes. Well done. Well done, Kojima. Oh yeah, as I said before, if I aim, because there's no pressure modifier buttons, the PlayStation controller did, I'm going to hold the back button that I set. Hold it in, and let's go. So all these like more contained areas do run really nicely. It's actually kind of making me want to play the game.
Freeze. Please don't.
I remember I used to like punching him in the nuts. If I can... Yeah, there you go. Can you do that on YouTube? Yeah, so 1.5x resolution actually looks really good. I always say 2x is like the sweet spot. That's when these games look really good on this device. But 1.5 and up is actually pretty good. The only save state I don't have for this is like I should really test outside on the tanker where you were in the rain, because there's some spots there where it does get a little bit choppy. I love it. Look at this engine room, so smooth. Ow. No, don't. Oh, this will be a good test actually, because I was playing this a little bit recently, and you get all these guards come with the shields, and when there's like 5 or 6 of them on the screen, it starts to slow down again. So it's not an emulator thing. It's just you need a device of more performance to handle more of this stuff. Oh, ow. Do I have any rations? I do not. Yeah. And then one more test, because we have a snake tails thing. Oh damn, I was trying to choke him. Music's so good in this game. I just want to see a load of these guards in one place. Oh, that's not bad, actually. Ow. I'm just running around trying to get, like, as many enemies on screen as possible. That was running really nice. Okay, let's have a look at Metal Gear Solid 3. Oh my god, we're at 46 minutes in this video. So I always have this, I keep doing the same state for this video. Let's do one of these early areas. So Metal Gear Solid 3 has been running good for a while, but there's this area with a bridge where I'm just going to get alerted and I'm going to run to this bridge. If I don't die. And actually, I want to double check this as well. I'm going to have a look at the settings. Let's have a look here. We have no underclocking. We have Vulkan at 2x. 2x, huh? I'm going to put it to 1.5. Just the same as Metal Gear Solid 2. Because that looked good. No hardware download. And I'm pretty sure there was no... I didn't leave GPU palette conversion on. I did not. Perfect. God, I've opened this device so many times, I feel like it's just going to fall apart someday. Getting 80% speed here. I knew this area with enemies was always going to be a little bit... Ow. Do I have any food? Oh, you have to actually go in the menu and eat, don't you? I can't get up. Get up, Snake. He's gonna die. That's cool. So there was some drops there. Large area, big bridge, lots of enemies that want to kill me. So let's have a look at this area now where it's not in alert mode. I'll tell you what's nice. I recently got a repair kit for the Odin because I had a very early model. And the one of my L buttons just decided it just did not want to click or anything. It was really bad. I can't see. So I got the repair kit, replaced them. Really nice. This damn bridge, like... How do you get up? Come on. I don't know if that rope is in the way. Oh, he's dead. Yeah, I can't see this game properly when I'm looking at the capture, but yeah, that's running really cool. Now, the video is getting quite long, so I wouldn't mind actually looking at this game again for a moment because it ran well, but there was like 5 or 10% it would lose here and there. So this is Onimusha Dawn of Dreams. It's looking pretty solid. I'm not seeing any dips. This is one of those games I need to try and play someday. There should be like two giant things fighting now. Can I skip this? Really nice. Let's have a look at the settings again. I don't think there's actually many settings here that I would have changed. Let's have a look. 50% underclock, no skip. We are at 2x resolution. Hardware download mode is just set to normal. It's running great. Look at that. You'd expect some slowdown there, but it's really good. Particle effects are one thing that usually provides some slowdown on games, but nothing really happened there. I don't know the buttons. Oh, they're so clicky. Ah! Like, for me, that's so satisfying. When I got my Odin, like, they were not this clicky. And early Odins had, like, that's the reason why they made the repair kits. Ah. Also, runs so good. Onimusha 2 had some little slowdowns. I can't imagine that's a game that would change much, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be... Let's have a quick look at that. Just curious. As I said, I wanted this video to feel like I got the update, I've installed it, changed settings, checking some games, just wanted it to feel as natural as possible. With some like actual insight and hopefully some decent talk. Because, oh, this is a D-pad only game. Alright, so when I play games with the D-pad, I hold the system a little bit lower. And, actually, do I? No, that's fine. I know some people find the D-pad really hard to use on this device, just because of its position. Well, I think when you get comfy, it's not actually too bad. However, I think I did actually do a swap where I set D-pad to this. Let me check actually. Did I make a Onimusha 2 controller profile? Let's have a look. General settings. Input is set to shoulder swap, so that's the common one I use. Where L1, R2, those are swapped. Okay, I did not make an Onimusha 2 profile, but if you wanted, you could set the D-pad to the stick. The D-pad apparently does nothing. This is nice. I'm actually curious now if this update was any beneficial to this game overall. This is a PlayStation handheld. That's so cool. Thank you, Sakura. And thank you, Etsy Shop, that had this sticker. When I was looking for stickers, so one of the first things I bought, I got this. I thought it was going to be smaller. It was gigantic. I don't know what to do with it. I'm just going to stick it here for this video for fun. They also like threw in an Xbox one as well, which is nice. But yeah, I don't know. So on Etsy, you can buy some like big stickers and stuff to actually like decorate your console, which is cool. I don't know if I would actually do that, but starting to see some other cool mods for the Odin now. I saw a fun one that was like, was it JoJo inspired? I can't remember. They had a really cool sticker on the back and Xbox buttons as well. let's get out of here. One game I do want to look at again is Shadow of the Colossus, because I think, was it in my last video where it wasn't running when I started it up? I think I was like loading a save state and it would just not run. I recently just, I'll open it because I started to try this a little bit more, Rogue Galaxy. I always said I'd play this if it ran really well, and it does. Bar one or two little hiccups. And I really need to like set a lot of time for this game one day, because I come back to it, I forget how to play it, and these tutorials are so important for RPGs. Whoa, straight into another battle. I think I have hardware download mode off for this game. I think you need it on, otherwise you will get slowed down. I think I was testing that the other morning on the patch before this. Yeah, really solid, working smooth. He's dead. It's a common trend when I test games. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to quickly show that. Actually, very curious. Gonna look at Shadow Hearts 2, because this had some problems. And I showed in my like 50 plus games tested that I set certain settings to fix certain problems. Oh my god, I cannot play this game on capture. The thing is, my microphone stand is in the boom is in the way of the game, so I have to look at the capture to play. Right. So, I don't know why I did that. Right. I'm peeking around my microphone now. So when you go to attack, the screen freezes for a moment and shows like an image. This used to cause some problems. It seems like it's okay. Oh no, that's different. That should be showing Karina, or whatever her name is. But it's not game breaking at all. Oh, what was that? Oh, triangle to skip movie. I'm gonna have to look at my other video again to find out what else is wrong. Oh, that's weird. There's nothing wrong with my sticks, but in this game, the down right, he's just walking. That's odd. That's not happened in any other games. Since I've like replaced the sticks, I've not had any problems with sensitivity or different corners. So yeah, there's been some of the newer updates have said that certain games like Metal Gear Solid 2, some of the options that I had before on my settings are no longer necessary. This makes me wonder if I need to update my list of games and the settings I've shown to have like the best optimization. But I think if you use those settings, it's not going to make much difference anyway. But this game had a couple of things I remember I did specifically, so there'll be a paste bin link in the video description with all the settings I have up to date, and I'll tweak it a little bit if necessary, but yeah, you can just check in the video description for what settings I have, and you should have it exactly as I have it here. I showed at the start when I installed this patch. Not patch, I keep calling it a patch. This update that I reset my settings and check certain things just as a precaution. Here we go, Shadow of the Colossus. So the last time I did a video on PlayStation 2, I would load up this state and it would crash. And I think that's no longer the case. Yeah, it's fixed now. This is another game I'd really like to get into, just to see the performance in later levels. You know, it's when you got like Colossi flying in the sky and things. I don't want to spend too much time here because the video is getting quite long and I've shown this game running quite well before. Plus, trying to kill these Colossi looking at game capture is really hard. That little bit delay is so crucial with like stamina management in this game. But I'm running around getting a good look at the guy. So smooth. Pretty sure this is at 2x resolution as well. I think this is one of those games you really don't need to change much. I just ran into a wall. Such an impressive game for the time. I want to see him hit me. Come on. If you were that big, you would not walk that slow. Is he gonna hit me? Oh my god. Awesome. Well, I was hoping he'd hit me with his club. Oh, it's October, it's Halloween time, it's time to play your horror games. Oh my god. Although if I played Silent Hill 2 again, it would probably be the PC version. And I think there's like some texture packs that make that. Oh, there are PS2 texture packs for Silent Hill 2. I don't know, that could be interesting. Spider-Man always ran great, don't need to look at that again. I've shown in a video recently how like Valkyrie Profile 2 is running a little bit better. We'll do one more game, and this is only the Enders 2, and this is another game where I think you just need a more powerful device. So we have a state where we are at the boss, and for the most part this game runs really well except for certain moments, and I don't know what it is when you get up close of this boss, but it always drops to 70%. Like, no matter what you do, you run away, it's perfect. And I keep trying to ask myself, what is it in the PlayStation 2 when you get this close where it's making it go slow for some reason? And I'd like to convince myself that there's a setting somewhere in this emulator that will fix this. You know, like maybe you tweak it and it will stop trying to process whatever is happening in that moment, but I don't know what it is. But I think it's well known that this game has always been a harder game to run, and it does need a more powerful device. But, I mean, maybe I'll play this game some more, get past this area, and see if it actually is quite playable going forward. But the thing is, there's more boss fights like this where you get close, and I don't know, dropping down to 70% speed is not going to cut it. But that's fine, you know. I always still think it's like a privilege, sorry, that we get to play the amount of games we do on this device. There is a lot of PlayStation 2 games that run really, really well. And it's so awesome to like get these newer updates and see if they actually have improved things a little bit. I have noticed a few things in this video where there has been like a little bit of improvement, just a little bit more smooth, which is awesome. I know there'll be people that want to see more games covered like Ratchet and Clank and Jak. I don't know why, I've never really been interested in PlayStation platformers. I don't think I'd want to play them again now. Like, when I was a kid, I loved Banjo-Kazooie, but even playing Banjo-Kazooie now is like not the same. So I don't have like the same interest in those like collectible platforming types. But we checked some pretty big ones. And I'm not a huge person for fighting games on handhelds. I think they can be fun, but it depends. And I never played games like Tekken, for example, so I would also be really bad at demonstrating them because I don't know Tekken at all. But I think it would be fun to try and get a few more different PlayStation games I don't usually play and test them out. I think this video has been pretty good, pretty insightful, showing that this update's pretty nice, and there are like notes to look over. So, for example, one of the things in this update is it says handle move shuffles in hardware renderer, and in brackets, fixes shadows in Final Fantasy XII, no more readbacks. So there's a few games that have been like configured a little bit better. I'll show one example. Well, I could show two examples where that's the case. I mean, since we're showing like a lot of good games performing very well, why don't we show a couple more? So Spider-Man 2, there was an update that like said specifically that they got this game running even better. I think I'm playing this at 3x resolution. And when you start it, it just chugs for a moment, but then boom, runs fantastic. So, and I played this game all the way through, not a problem, never had any issues. So, if you were like, if you have an Odin and you're like, damn, I'd love to play Spider-Man 2 again, that runs fantastically on this. I had a blast. Actually, I'm glad I checked this, because sometimes you have an update and maybe something changes, but it seems to be fine. Yep, all good. And same with Resident Evil 4. There was an update a while ago that like specifically showed that they increased the performance in that game. I think this is at 3x resolution as well, and nothing really changed. Like you can just like reset your settings, put this to 3x resolution, and it runs 100%, even with tons of enemies on screen. What's the knife button? I think I have shoulder swap on. Yeah. Oh. Wapa. Love this game so much. He drops the beat massive. I bet everyone has like their own kind of like, what does he say there? There's this other one where it sounds like he goes, my father said we could eat you. There we go. I like doing that sidekick. He drops the beat massive. And later on when they get creepier, there are these like monks, and I swear they always go, call Hitler, call Hitler. It's like, what? So when I was like playing this when I was a kid, I was like, what the hell are they saying? Well, I know it's like Spanish, I just don't know any Spanish. Ow. Oh. Nice. Okay, that's going to do it for this video. Pretty nice. Always love jumping into PlayStation 2 with the Odin. Thank you very much for watching. Let's go back into Pegasus. So, yeah, in Pegasus, one of the really weird things is if I jump into, say, Burnout 3 through the Pegasus launcher and the game's going to launch, if I press back and try and go to individual game settings, there's nothing. So whenever I have to like test the games, I have to go into AetherSX2, which is really frustrating because I like to use the launcher more when possible. But once you've set up the games properly, you can just go to Pegasus and run the game, which is cool. And press the home button and you're back, and you can just pick one of the games. Is there anything I've been playing recently? Oh, I have been playing the crap out of Vectrix on the Dreamcast, and I could play that game for like an hour, just like being addicted to it. But wait, Celeste? Oh, that's on the Switch. Yeah, okay. I was testing out a new Skyline update. I'm really hoping we get an update where you're able to play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Live Alive or Live Alive, however you want to say that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll be doing a video soon on the Mayu Mini when I get the buttons and skin, so that looks really awesome. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more content, and yeah, have a terrific day. I'll see you around in the next video. Bye bye.